What's new, fathead?
Doc Owen here with Action Figure Times. Today we're going to start off the DC Universe Classics Wave 17. We're going to be looking at the Wonder Woman figure, who is the #1 figure in the wave. Now, I have to be honest, this is a love-hate relationship for me with Wave 17. The reason is because it has a Build-A-Figure that I'm very much looking forward to, the Anti-Monitor figure. But personally, I thought it was a little bit of a waste of a wave when I first heard it, and I'll know after going through all these reviews whether it actually is or not. It was a little bit of a waste of a wave to me because DC Direct just did these figures not more than 3 months ago. Now, the Wonder Woman, as you can see in the package, this typical package that we're seeing. Now this is the Star Sapphire Wonder Woman. Star Sapphires, if you don't know, they're kind of like some of the ex-girlfriends I have. They're all about love, but they will stalk you and try to beat the crap out of you if you don't respond. That's kind of the Star Sapphires, and it's just with the Zamorons and stuff. So, anyway, you can see her. You're going to see she's got her violet lantern. I thought it was a little bit off color, but I do like the fact that it is a different type of shape. You can see the little anti-monitor piece right there. The back talks a little bit about the Wonder Womans and battling the Black Lanterns. This is based on the Blackest Night series that came out in the comics. Alright, now remember with these reviews, and I also want to thank EnchantedToyChest.com for helping us out with so many great toys. But as you're familiar with our reviews, we're going to take a look at it far away, and then we're going to look at it real close up. Alright, so I've got her out of the package. It didn't take long at all. Now this is a pivotal moment for me with this figure because, as you may or may not remember, this is my DC Direct Star Sapphire Wonder Woman. I'd like to show you a good comparison between the two, but I can't find her head right now. I say it's a pivotal moment because when I opened this figure and pressed her out of the package, her head popped off. So rather than take her out, I wanted to take a minute just to see, hey, is she going to be headless, or did Mattel, with their better quality, how did it turn out? I'm going to have her stand right here and wait for her sister to come out. Look, nothing came off. It's a shame when you have to say that about toys nowadays, isn't it? Everything popped out. We've got kind of like an anti-monitor torso, and I've got to say, I know I should be getting to her, but I'm already impressed because that's cloth right there. That's cloth, real cloth, not plastic. That is very, very cool. I can't wait to open the rest of this wave. Moving right along. Now, so we have our violet lantern. That's kind of neat. I like it in the fact that it is different. It is a different shape. You know, Mattel didn't just stick us with a bunch of, repaints. They actually redid the lantern. Kudos to Mattel for that. Now, so now here we have the Amazon. She's in her pose. Hopefully it's not going to affect the way she stands. She comes out. Now, it's funny, she's a Star Sapphire, but she is in the Wonder Woman pose. Now, right away, I notice on the bracelets that I do not see the violet star, which was typical, and you'll be able to look at it in a minute when we do the close-ups. I don't see that star. You notice that the star is on the DC Direct. Now, her lasso of truth is actually plastic, and it's attached. You cannot take it loose. You could, in fact, I lost mine, so I guess maybe it's good that they don't have that. So here she is. She's got good articulation. Seems to be really the basic same articulation the women have been getting. Her arms are in weird positions, though. It's a little bit difficult for me to get it to where it's supposed to be. You can kind of see her legs. I mean, she can, kick Superman in the face pretty easily. Her thigh rolls. The paint application looks very nice to me. One thing I admired about the Headless Woman's hair, and you can tell she was going to be taller. One thing I liked about the DC Direct woman, she had a beautiful face. This face to me actually looks a little bit better than the promos. She also had beautiful hair. I wish I could find that head, because I really think it would be good by comparison. But all in all, this is a decent figure. She's got the... Now this is more of a sculpted thing with metallic paint. This isn't. But all in all, at least the figure's together. You can see a little bit of a different collar. This is a darker purple. So all in all, I'm glad to have this figure. You know, I really thought she was a waste, but hey, at least now I have her with her head on, right? I mean, that's something. Anyway, okay, let's go ahead and look at her close up. We're looking at Star Sapphire Wonder Woman. She looks very, very nice. I like the head sculpt overall. I like the collar. That's very nice. The hair is excellent. Nice paint application. I wish this was a little bit more ridged there on her rear end. You can see the legs where they twist. Her boots. There's the lasso of truth. The star, it is a little bit raised. I wish it was a little bit more predominant. I do miss the purple star, like you saw on the DC Direct Wonder Woman on the bracelets. I do miss that. And honestly, I wish this color was a little bit darker, more matching with the lantern, as you see it here. But all in all, it's pretty cool. It does look very similar to some of the comic book, depending on who was inking at the time. But this is a very, very cool figure. Next up on our look at DC Universe Classics Wave 17 is the number 2 figure in the wave, and that is the Sinestro Scarecrow. Now, there was a lot of concern about this figure because of the fact that there seemed to be genes on the DC Direct figure, but it didn't end up being that way, and there weren't going to be genes on this one. I'm curious as to put these side by side and actually take a look at them. It's regular DC packaging. It's got the Sinestro symbol. To be honest with you, that looks just like a repainted Green Lantern wave, and I know for a fact that Mattel has the Sinestro Corps shaped lanterns. But the back tells a little bit about the Blackest Night. Obviously, this is part of the anti-monitor system, as I told you before. You know, I run hot and cold with this wave. But let's go ahead and get it open and see what he looks like. Now, okay. Now with this, with the number 2 figure, you are going to get the right leg of the anti-monitor guy. Now he's actually got some of the rubber twist ties. And we'll just go ahead and rip those puppies off. I like the fact he has a pretty basic stance. Come out of there. Oh, there we go. You know, he's not as molded like some of the other ones could be. Now, he is highly articulated. His hat, one thing that'll be cool to look for in the close-ups is the way his hat is. It's ripped the point off of his hat, and it's got a piece of wood, it looks like, sticking out. The coat's kind of neat. I do kind of like the coat. It's rubbery. Doesn't have a split in the back. It's all the way around. It's got the yellow for the Sinestro Corps. That's kind of neat. Very nice hands. Actually looks kind of like werewolf hands. Make sure you take a look at that in the close-up. He's got a chest joint, but it's stuck. There you go. He's got a chest joint. He's got a lot of articulation. He's got the multiple jointed elbows, which I think is actually kind of good since he's supposed to be this spooky character type guy. But all in all, it's a pretty cool figure. Now on his mask, his head sculpt, it looks kind of weird, but I mean, he's a weird guy. Now, one thing I do not like about this, I think, is going to be the height. And I've got the other Scarecrow here. Let me see. This is a DC Universe Batman. Look at that. Scarecrow is taller than Batman. Psh, ain't no way. Ain't not gonna happen. Now this is the older Batman. Let's see if I can find I don't see one of the more recent. Nah. Well, maybe I'll check him later. If I can, I'll do it in the close-ups. Make sure you go to the site and see the close-ups. Now, right away, I have to say I like the sculpt of the DC Direct better. For several reasons. I like the frayed hat more on this. I like the fact that this noose is actually hanging loose. This one, he really doesn't even have the noose. It's more the sack around his head. I like the metallic paint, and I like the paint things on the back of the DC Direct. Really, this is just a brown coat. Not much way in the way of paint application there. I mean, it's not messy, so that's good. But I mean, really, it's you know, it's kind of poor. Okay, now he does not have, quote unquote, I guess you could call them jeans, but you see there, he's got the frayed pants legs and no yellow boots, which I'm trying to remember the comic, and maybe I can take a look at it. He's got the yellow boots on and does not have the pants. I personally think for this character with the duster and everything, the frayed pants is the better option, and I really think we probably should have gone that way. Now, let's go ahead and take a look at him close up, and you tell me what you think. Here we have the Sinestro core lantern up close. You can kind of get a much better look at the sculpt. Kind of neat hat. As you look around, you can see that piece of wood sticking out in the back. There's the coat. You can see as it moves around. Nice raised belt. There's a chest joint there. They continue the arms. That's kind of cool. You can see the ring right down there. As it twists, you got some good arm movement. I love the gauntlets; those are kind of neat. I do miss the pants. I do miss the pants on there. I thought it was a much better look. Now, let me just say this: I do think, if you look at these two sculpts, I do think that the sculpt of the DC Direct is much better. Love the metallic paint, all in all, and you can see the difference in the jeans. But all in all, I really like, for this one, I really would have to go with the Scarecrow, but I do like the flexibility of the Mattel. Very, very cool figure, and it's just neat to have it.